All right, this is good music to bounce to, so let's bounce a little bit. Bouncing always feels good, right? Yeah. All right, we do that in Qigong practice to kind of reset our nervous system. So, happy bouncy Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Happy bouncy day to you all. Welcome to Collaborative Wellness Presents Be Happy, Be Healthy, the show where you will find the tools and resources you need to live from happiness rather than for it. The show is based on the New York Times best-selling book, Happy for No Reason, 7 Steps to Being Happy from the Inside Out by Marcy Shimoff, and the Happiness Generator course curriculum. I'm your host, Donnamarie Vernon. I'm a licensed massage therapist, speaker, and almost certified happiness and love ambassador. Today I have with me Shirley Rule, who describes herself, that is correct, right, Rule?
Yes.
All right. She describes herself as a cancer survivor, runner, and a wellness advocate who loves sharing the benefits of doTERRA essential oils. So Shirley's story fits right in with our topic today because my big why, what I am so passionate about, is helping people, especially women, understand that happiness and health is within our complete control. Our thoughts create our habits and behaviors that create every aspect of our lives. So obviously, to survive cancer, Shirley had to recognize this, then make choices that moved her in the direction of health and away from the behaviors and habits that effectively created the disease in the first place. Welcome, Shirley, and thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good. So, Shirley, I have a question for you. Do you remember the moment, and can you describe the feeling when you just knew that your survival and the quality of your life from here on would depend on those choices that you made?
Yeah, wow. When I first learned that I had uterine cancer, when you first get that news, it's almost like everything around you slows down and you're in disbelief, I guess. And so I'm an action type of person where at first, like I said, everything slows down, but then I knew that I had to put things into action and get all my ducks in a row. And once I did that and I got through my surgery, I started to reflect on why, because I really thought I would be the last person that would be diagnosed. I always considered myself pretty healthy, but when I started to dig deeper, I realized that there were some changes that I probably had to make, and those included internal changes as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't get anywhere with just changing the outside, isn't that correct?
Exactly.
We found that. Because those changes, those internal behaviors are virtually programmed into our personality and lifestyle, and they're based on the behaviors and personalities of our caregivers. And that programming is either supportive of happy, healthy lifestyles or not. Okay, so most of the programming we receive from these primary caregivers is unconscious and has been modeled after the behaviors of their caregivers. So by the time we start to become conscious of the world around us, we already have these behaviors, our operating system, if you will, installed and happily running in the background, doing its best to help us survive by creating behaviors that will protect us, right? For better or for worse. Mm-hmm. So if any of you recall my story from an earlier episode, my background programming was, if I am happy, I could die. So everything that I did from that point on protected me from being too happy so I wouldn't die. right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of huge. So Shirley, after you received your diagnosis, and the initial shock of it subsided, were you able to kind of look inside and start to uncover some of that background programming?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, my upbringing was, my dad was in the Air Force for 21 years, and I was always taught to be early and everything was in order, and all of those qualities weren't bad that were instilled, but I think I put a lot of pressure on myself, and just with everything I do, I guess if you have a weakness, mine would be I was always too hard on myself. And after my diagnosis and going through my recovery, I've learned through personal development not to sweat the small stuff as much and to really put things into perspective, and everything is figure-outable, and everything has a way of working out.
Right.
So you kind of just let go, and my big word for the year is trust. So.
Yeah, and I love to like delve into, I guess, energy psychology and some of those new thought things, like Louise Hay, for instance.
Right.
I'm sure you've looked into a lot of that, and how cancer relates to some of those beliefs of not being good enough or being too hard on ourselves. And it gives us an opportunity to kind of shift that into, I was hard on myself, now what I need, what is really my truth, that I do love myself and I deserve to be gentle with myself. Yeah. So it's always good, yeah?
Yeah, it's a big learning curve, and it's really important to set goals, but not beat yourself up. I mean, failure is okay, and we have to, often failure can actually be a good thing because it can be a learning experience, and I think too many of us are just too hard on ourselves, and stress can really do underlying things that we don't realize. So I really don't know what caused my cancer, but it could be many different things.
Sure. It's never just one thing, it has to do with thoughts and beliefs and lifestyles and food and air and and environment. So yeah, it's never just one thing, but we as conscious humans do set up these conditions, most of them non-consciously, based on not only our upbringing and those behaviors, but also society and the gender roles, okay? The way we behave as boys or girls, men or women, and that adds a whole nother layer to that programming, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, being 60 years old, I grew up in a time between generations that was very, very confusing for women. The messages coming at us from every direction were so mixed, and we were pulled in between doing what our mothers did, nurturing and caring for our families, a very feminine attributes and expression, to making our way in the world as men did, and assuming those more masculine traits of independence, competition, ambition. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of women still don't really feel the confidence that some men do, especially in a corporate atmosphere.
Right.
There's still those stereotypes that take place.
Well, women are just built differently than men, period, end of sentence. We don't do well in those environments. Women are meant for collaboration and cooperation based on our hormones and our DNA. We have a tendency, particularly in times of stress, that competition, it ignites in us to want to tend and befriend. Now, so many women in the corporate environment don't have access to that type of things, but the environment is slowly shifting. And that is something that I love to promote, is those relationships, those tribes, and that cooperation and collaboration mainly between women. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome, isn't it? Yeah, we love to play. I know you know Debbie McManus too,
Yeah.
and I got a chance to go and play at her Awaken the Girl Inside little workshop. And let me tell you, it was an eye-opener because, as I told her, my girl inside is very resistant.
Yes.
You know?
I've been to a few of those, and they're totally awesome, and that's actually helped me a lot.
Yeah. It's nice to actually be able to be accepted as vulnerable. All right. So,
Yes.
And the good news is that there's safe places like the Living Yoga Studio in Sebastian to be able to do that. And the good news also is that we can change our programming simply by changing our thinking.
Yes.
And by intentionally applying a new set of instructions or habits that totally support our well-being. And I'm sure you really dove deeply into that when you were in your recovery.
Yes, and I still work on it because it's amazing how you can have a thought and realize that thought is creating not so nice feelings. And then if you shift that thought, how your feelings can flip, and then your feelings actually create outcomes and actions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You hit that nail right on the head. You did. And when we're bouncing back and forth between that negative and positive, those stop signs that we created ourselves that we haven't been able to move past, there's actually a term for that called oscillation. Yeah, and it's a pretty cool thing that I've been playing with lately. So when we come back from the break, Shirley and I are going to talk a little bit more about this and share with you some of the processes that helped us to cope with our faulty programming. Yes. Oh, thank you. I have the world's best producer. I am just head over heels in love with my producer,
You
Donna.
just told a fat lie.
I did not. I never, ever, ever lie. But welcome back. You are listening to and watching Be Happy, Be Healthy with me, your host, Donnamarie Vernon, and my guest today, Shirley Rule, and we've been talking about some of the habits that create our lives, and now we're going to talk about some of the processes that we can do to help change that faulty programming to become new habits. Yeah.
Cool.
So can you, Shirley, give me some examples of some of the new habits that you installed to change your programming that would ensure your survival and well-being?
Sure. Well, like I mentioned, after my diagnosis, you start to reflect on all of your habits, and to this day, I'm still not the best eater. But that was one thing I started to look at, was my diet. About a year after my surgery, I didn't have anything to drink alcohol-wise for 13 months. It was like a personal cleanse. And now I rarely drink, but I will on a special occasion. But that brought so much clarity to me and helped me with my personal development. I'm also a runner, so being fit is very important to me. And then I also just, what word am I trying to think of? I was introduced to essential oils. After my surgery, I got pushed into menopause, and I had hot flashes, those annoying hot flashes. And I had to seek all natural alternatives, and I just happened to be somewhere where someone was teaching about essential oils, and my neighbor recommended peppermint. So I thought that was kind of funny, but worth a try. And it actually did wonders for me. Yeah. And that's when I started to research more, and that's where my whole world of essential oils, high quality essential oils, of course, opened up.
I love playing with essential oils. In fact, I use them in some of my massages.
Yes.
I understand the how they affect the body and each of the organ systems, that they all have frequencies, correct? And these frequencies match the frequencies of your body and help you bring up that particular system.
Yes, it's all science. It's fine aromatic compounds, and each oil works differently on someone else because we all have different DNA. But one oil can do so many different things, and they're just not for physical support, but also emotional support.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I understand that, and I love oils too, and I'm really glad that you found that and it helped you in your healing journey. What about mind-body kind of, therapies? Do you meditate or?
Yes, I started meditating. I never had meditated before, but through personal development, I started doing that and found it amazing. Just taking some time to just sit still will do for you.
Awesome.
And running also is what I call my
moving meditation.
My all-natural antidepressant, because it's just you really in the road in your mind. And so it's very therapeutic for me.
Right, yeah. Awesome. So, how would people get in touch with you? I know you're a doTERRA wellness advocate. So if they want to know more about essential oils, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, there's a couple of ways. They can go to my website, livehappyhealthy.life, or I'm on Facebook, Live Happy Healthy with Shirley Rule. I'm on Instagram. So if they go to my website, livehappyhealthy.life, it has all my contact information.
Nice.
Yes.
Livehappyhealthy.life.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, now we're going to come to the reason why I do what I do, and now we know why you do what you do, So it's always important to have a big why to make things happen. Don't you believe that?
Yes.
Yeah. So knowing what I know now about the power of our choices and our responsibility to ourselves and each other to choose better, I knew there had to be a better way to take my life experiences and apply simple principles to create new habits that had already worked for millions of people. Then I wanted to fully integrate those habits and find a way to share it with the ones I knew needed me the most to do that. That's women just like me, right?
Yeah.
Who know that this part of our lives can be the best part of our lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're rocking it now, aren't we, sister?
It's exciting.
Yeah. So that's how I found Happy for No Reason and Marcy Shimoff, the Happiness Generator course, which is the basis for the Be Happy, Be Healthy seminars and workshops, simply revealed themselves to me and allowed me to create a new role and new identity as a leader and a teacher. So it happened the same way for me as it did for you. Things that we need always come to us at the time that we need them. So coming up on Saturday, June 9th, you will have an opportunity to come out and play with me at the Living Healthy Studio for a Be Happy, Be Healthy full-day workshop, and we'll immerse ourselves in fun and thought-provoking experiences and begin creating new habits that support happiness and well-being. So by the end of the day, you will have learned to control your thoughts and raise your happiness set point and fully integrate all 21 happiness habits. You will have created your personal success plan, happiness success plan, and you'll have all the tools you need to step right into your happy, healthy life. And you will also receive a copy of Happy for No Reason, 7 Steps to Being Happy from the Inside Out by Marcy Shimoff, a workbook and participant guide so that you can continue to practice with the exercises at home and fully integrate your personal happiness success plan. I've also created a private Facebook community for ongoing support, and you will receive VIP discounts on all of my upcoming events, programs, and products. The cost for the workshop on June 9th is $147. Pay attention now, because I am about to give you the URL and a coupon code so that you can save $50 off and only pay $97. Ready? Got your pen and paper? The URL is behappy-behealthy-fd-eventbrite.com. And the coupon code is all one word, happiness reset. How cool, huh? You're going to be there, right, Shirt?
I plan on it.
Yeah! Right. I can hardly wait to play together with you.
That's an awesome deal.
Yeah. And before we go anywhere, I got to tell you that I have one of the most awesome men in the world right here. He's one of my good and dear friends because we work so well together at what we do. This is Warren Kruk from Treasure Coast Webstream, and he's hiding kind of in the background. Can he come over into a chair?
I think I can do that.
Oh, you're on. You're on, baby.
Am I on?
You're
Look at that.
on.
Well, I'm going to scoot over here. I'm on, but they can't hear me because I don't have a microphone.
There's one right. Oh, okay.
Microphone? How's that?
Want to use mine?
All right.
And we got headphones.
Yeah, Warren is here today because he is recording all of this. Because I'm creating digital online courses. So not only the radio show, but all kinds of the events and everything will be put together and packaged so that we can put out digital online courses, and we plan on helping other people be able to do that same thing. Warren is amazing at what he does with the filming and the editing, and I am amazing at what I do in finding people's sweet spot and, helping to unwind their hook so that they can sell their digital products too. And we also have a wonderful little Facebook commercial project. Can you tell us about that, Warren?
I'm going to take lots of clips of the show and of Donna's seminars, and we're just going to put little 30-second, 40-second clips of her her teachings out there for people to see. Because I when I listen to you guys, just from an outside perspective, you touched on something before that men don't follow the advice of women. They don't. And unfortunately, I think that it takes us, when you live through a tragedy or you're dealing with a tragedy,
we've got 30 seconds.
You make a change, and it takes men until we're 45 before we actually see that change and can apply it to ourselves.
So keep hanging out with us women, and Warren's little Facebook commercial project is available to anyone. Yes, follow him at TC Webstream on Facebook.
That's it.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here, and until next week, be happy and be healthy. Peace.
Peace.